Happy Monday, everybody. What is going on? I'm back. I'm in the pocket. I'm home from Florida after a couple days, actually on a work trip for our business. So just wanted to come to you guys live. I know, I missed yesterday and Saturday, but I did a live on Friday from the pool. So did a live from the pool at the house we were staying at, and I had my wife join me, and we talked about basically our marriage and kind of the rise to reign marriage. But since I'm back, I'm getting back into my routine. I slightly deviated from my routine while I was on travel. I was basically consistent or more consistent than I usually am. It just took me off a little bit in different ways. So obviously I didn't do a live. So that was one deviation. No cold plunge, which also sucks. But anyway, what am I talking about today? Well, as always, I promise you guys that I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw with you guys. So this morning, as I was stacking, I ended up switching up from what I posted in my story, and I ended up doing a rage stack. And the reason I did a rage stack was as I was meditating, I realized that my wife and I went down to Florida to one of our favorite spots. Not going to tell you where because I don't want you guys to go. A place we've been going for about 15 years. We've been going down there. We vacation down there. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we didn't connect. Yeah. So as I was going through my stack this morning, I realized that we got so preoccupied with the people that were around us. We got preoccupied with the business side of stuff that even though we had a little R&R, we did not take time to ourselves as a married couple to connect. And so this morning, like that made me mad. I was like, you know what? I cannot believe we were down in one of our top favorite spots and we didn't take time to go off by ourselves as a married couple and just connect. Like I was pissed. And it wasn't necessarily that I was pissed directly at her. I was just pissed at the situation that we didn't do that for ourselves. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So we were down there for business. We were down there for a board or advisory panel meeting with some of our other Wellness Way clinics that we're either in business with or a part of our larger group of clinics, and people that we've known for years, people that we love and care about, and honestly, people we don't get to see that often. So this special group of people we haven't seen since May, so it's been about 4 months. And we all stayed in a house together right on the beach. It had its own pool. It was a $15 million home, guys. But it it slept like 28 people or something like that. So we were just immersed in this house as people that do life differently, right? Like we're all business owners. We're all entrepreneurs. The majority of people there are doctors. Some of the other spouses were there, but it's all people that we choose to do life with in our business, but also like us, they're like-minded and they do life differently. And I say that it's important because that's who we choose to surround ourselves with, right? And so naturally, when we're not seeing these people for 4 months since our last seminar in May, we get around them and we just want to soak, that piece of it up. We want that tribal piece of it as humans. And so my wife, she's very social. That is her jam. She thrives in that environment, and especially when you get people around her that she knows and she cares about and she talks to all the time from a distance, like that is her space. Now, not saying it's not my space, but I'm a little more introverted when it comes to that. Even though I love and care about these people, we went and played golf. I still like to have fun, but it's not something that I absolutely thrive on. but it is great to be around other like-minded people. So we went down there early so that I could golf, so that she could see some of her close friends, and just have that sense of camaraderie that we were around other people. And then, Friday we got straight to business, a lot of business stuff. Friday, Saturday, flew home Sunday. So my point is that distractions are everywhere, right? Like if you're a businessman, if you're a man, you own your own small business. Like I understand where you're at. Like you're in the shit. You're working so fucking hard to provide for you and your family and your clients of your business that it's so freaking easy for you to lose connection with your wife or your kids. And so, as I get older as a man, I thrive on connection with my spouse, with my wife. It is something that I need. And as we're preparing this morning, we're up early, getting back in our routines, and even being at the office together, we had some time, and I was like, you realize we're in one of our favorite spaces, and we did not take the time for each other. Yeah, we slept in the same bed. Yeah, we were in the same vicinity, but as far as that connection piece goes, like it wasn't there. Like she was busy with her friends, I was busy with my friends. We were doing stuff together as the group. We had the business side of stuff. Gosh, guys, like that's life. Especially if you're a business owner, you're a man, you have a wife, you have kids. Fuck. It is so easy to get pulled in the direction where this stuff takes a back seat. And that's honestly how I felt. Like I was upset that we didn't, we lost sight of it just for a few days. But there's so many of you that lose sight of it for months. And as men, as providers, what we tend to do is we go, okay, when my wife tells me something like, hey, whatever it is, whatever she tells you, that means you're not paying attention or you're not doing enough or you're not trying hard enough or whatever. What do men do? We tend to actually go backwards and disconnect. So usually when we collide with our spouse about a situation, we tend to draw back. We don't go forward and step into it. So that might look like, maybe your wife's upset about something, and what do? You go work more. Why? Because there's something inside of our brain as a man that we can't change. And ladies, that's not an excuse, but our logical, practical mind says, okay, I will go provide more, therefore she will be happy. All the while, she's just asking for you to be with her. And that's how things get so fucking sideways in marriage. Because, had my wife and I not had this conversation this morning, we would just keep going. Bam, bam, bam. And it's because I was stacking and meditating that this got brought to the forefront of my mind. It's because of doing that process that said, oh shit, you need to pay attention to this. Now, had I not been meditating this morning, had I skipped my routine like I wanted to stay in bed, I did not want to get up at 5 a.m., I would have never stacked. My meditation would have never revealed what my soul desire was, which was connection. So think about that. Let's say I didn't do that this morning. What did I do? I got back into my routine. I cold plunged. I headed in the office. I'm home now. I'm cooking dinner. I got to work out. I got to take the boys for haircuts. And to be honest, I'll probably be working till about 10 o'clock tonight. So it's full of distractions that are pulling you away. So as men, when we think we need to go and work more, the truth is the opposite. Guys, she doesn't want you to produce more. Yes, if you get paid, you get laid, but she wants connection. And men, so do you. Like we gotta stop acting like we're the fucking alphas and we don't need connection. Like that's part of being married. Right? We like to boast. We like to say, oh, I'm the man. I don't need connection with my spouse. But you really do. And too often I talk with guys that simply just pull away. They either fill it with working out, they fill it with working more, and then you drift so far apart, then your mind starts going other places. Porn, emotional affairs, physical affairs. And that's how we end up in a place where 60 or 50% of marriages end in divorce. So I would have you guys consider, if you think you're this big shot fucking alpha male, I don't need to connect with my wife. You're wrong. And my guess is if you would ask her, she would probably agree. Even though you think you're an 8 out of 10, you're probably a 4 out of 10. Because we don't want to accept failure as men. So, my wife and I haven't finished the conversation. Obviously, it's something like we're going to work on, over the next, 11, 12 days before we head to Ireland, which, guys, we're going to connect. Like, we're going to be traveling Ireland for almost 2 weeks just with each other. And like, that sounds fucking amazing, right? Like, this is one of our dream trips that we've planned. So you might be asking, like, Paul, why, like, if you're leaving in 2 weeks, why would you be worried about this? And essentially, I'm not worried, but it's something that we need to focus on the next, 11 or 12 days. Because the last thing we want to do is be heading into that trip with our souls not aligned. Like, the last thing I want to do is spend all this money on a vacation and be away from our boys for 2 weeks. Something we've been dreaming and just visualizing for years. Like, I want it to be fucking epic. Right? Like, I want that deep, deep connection with my wife during that time. So I'm not going to just throw it to the side and be like, man, we'll connect in 2 weeks, honey. It'll be fine. Like, that is the wrong thinking that gets you into trouble. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go get dinner rolling here for the boys, for the fam. I'm going to get the boys a haircut before we head off to Ireland here in a few days. So I will be back in my routine. I will be continuing to do these lives every day up until I leave. And then I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to shut it off for a while. So not saying I won't go live in Ireland, because I'm going to see some epic shit while I'm out there for 2 weeks. And I definitely want to share that piece with you all. But if you're a man and you're longing for that connection with that woman you first married, you need to talk to her. And if you don't know how to talk to her, then you need to shoot me a direct message and ask me if you can apply for my coaching group. And we'll have you apply and we'll see if you're a fit, because I know all too well I know all too well where this path leads of your spouse feeling like a roommate. You don't feel connected to your wife. You guys say you spend time together, but you just sit on the couch while Netflix is going on in the background, and you just fuck around on your phones. I know this because I'm surrounded by men in my collective that have done this in the past. And I want to weaponize you with fucking tools so that you don't feel like this, so that you're not distracted by all the distractions that you could be distracted by. So send me a DM. I'll tell you how you can apply for my coaching collective, and let's get this shit figured out now before it becomes a problem. So with that, guys, I hope you have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you all tomorrow.